We know that in Peppa's world, time doesn't pass, but that doesn't mean the characters live forever. Do you know the characters who have already died in the Little Pig's universe? Mr. Bull. You won't believe it, but Mr. Bull also died. But wait, it's not the Mr. Bull you're thinking of. We're talking about Mrs. Cow's first husband, who is Carol Cow's father, that calf character who, unfortunately, was never part of Peppa's group. We know that the Mr. Bull everyone knows is alive and doing very well, but he's probably not Carol Cow's father. They don't even look alike. And the little cow wasn't at her mother's wedding, which was probably her second marriage after becoming a widow. That's why Mr. Bull, who was Mrs. Cow's first husband, has definitely already passed away, and that's really sad. Carol Cow must really miss her dad. Either way, he makes it onto our list, and if you want to know more, stay with us.
You know what's starting. It's another awesome Cinewave!
Greg Pig. There's a bizarre theory that says Greg Pig is one of the characters who died in this world. This little pig would be Peppa's older brother who, unfortunately, was never born. This theory gained traction because Peppa Pig is competing for kids' attention with another show you probably know, Bluey the Blue Puppy, and that idea of an older sibling who was never born already exists in that series. On top of that, Peppa's show has been on the air for over 20 years, and unfortunately, we've never really seen the pig family grow, until now with Evie, even though there's evidence that Peppa may have had siblings before, like that official poster with a little pig in the window. What do you think about this theory? Mr. Gazelle. Madame Gazelle's husband is one of the characters we already know has died. He must have passed away many years ago. This character appears twice in the series. The first time is in a photo on the wall of Madame Gazelle's house, where he's wearing a top hat and a fancy suit. And the second time he appears, almost no one noticed. It was for a split second in the episode Science Museum, when Edmund is inside a mini rocket. Mr. Gazelle appears in an old painting wearing a military uniform from soldiers who lived over 200 years ago. Everyone knows that in Peppa's world, Madame Gazelle is seen as a vampire, meaning she'll live for thousands of years, but her husband, unless he's resting inside a vampire coffin, has definitely already passed away. Could it have been in a war? If he was a soldier, he might have been injured in some old battle. Either way, Mr. Gazelle joins our list, unfortunately. Paternal grandparents. Peppa's paternal grandparents are characters everyone would love to meet, but unfortunately both of them must have passed away over 20 years ago, which is how long the series has been on the air. Peppa and George don't know Daddy Pig's parents. We know he has a younger brother, Uncle Pig, and that's the only family from that side of the pigs that we know. The other pigs in the series come from Peppa's maternal side, at least most of them. Aunt Pig has another family that has never appeared. Now going back to Daddy Pig's parents, we know they unfortunately died because Daddy Pig grew up in Peppa's town. He was even a student of Madame Gazelle, so his parents should be in the show, right? Unfortunately, they aren't because they're no longer alive. Pirates. You know that Captain Redbeard's entire pirate crew disappeared and probably sank into the sea, right? The Redbeard we've seen in some episodes is a pirate who is always alone. And everyone knows pirates are never alone. They have a crew because they need it to control a ship. In the episode Police Boat, we saw that Redbeard's ship is a small boat, which is fine. It makes sense because that kind of ship is faster since it's not as heavy. But even so, it would still take at least 10 people to operate it. And since Redbeard is always alone, it means he doesn't have a crew. Our theory is that they were attacked by a sea monster, since it's already been confirmed in the series that they exist, and that only Redbeard survived. Really sad. Would you like to go on an adventure on a pirate ship or visit Peppa's town? Comment #pig so we can get to know you. Queen. Now, one character we're sure won't appear in the series anymore is the Queen. This character passed away in the show because she's a tribute to the former Queen of England, Elizabeth II. But since the Queen in the real world is already in heaven, the character in the show won't return. And what's interesting is that we've never met her relatives. Will the current king in Peppa's world appear? No matter what the truth is, the Queen unfortunately joins our list as one of the characters who passed away in the series. Leo Lion. Lorenzo Lion's brother, Leo Lion, is another character who has definitely passed away, and if you don't know what we're talking about, we'll explain. Lorenzo Lion has 2 bedrooms, one at his father's house and another at his mother's house. They are separate and that's fine. Having 2 rooms isn't a problem. The issue is that the rooms are completely different, as if they belonged to different people. At his dad's house, the room has space-themed drawings and toys, but in the other room, it's decorated with animal toys and family photos. If you look closely, it's almost as if there was another lion cub, and the theory is that Lorenzo had a brother who used to sleep there, but he ended up with both rooms after the other one passed away. What do you think about that? Miss Rabbit. The Australian Miss Rabbit also passed away. We know this for a very simple reason. When Peppa travels to another country, like for example, when she went to the United States and France, we see that there is a version of Miss Rabbit there. The Miss Rabbit in France even says that she is Mademoiselle Lapin, a completely different character, and the US version says that in every city there is a Miss Rabbit. That means there should be one in Australia too, right? Wrong. When Peppa goes to Australia, there is no Miss Rabbit at all. She doesn't appear at any moment during Peppa's vacation, and that's clear proof that the Miss Rabbit from that country doesn't exist. Could it be because there are only dogs in Australia? Got the reference? Australia. Dogs, you get it. Aunt Evie. There is an Evie who also passed away, but it's not Evie who is Peppa's new sister. We're talking about Mommy Pig's great aunt. This character never appeared in the series. Mommy Pig showed a picture of her during an interview for a British TV news program. Mommy Pig said she chose her new daughter's name as a tribute to her great aunt Evie. In other words, if it's a tribute, that means the first Evie has already passed away. Not to mention the photo is very old, showing that she must have been quite elderly at the time it was taken. Mr. Sheep. Another character who has already passed away is Mr. Sheep, Susie's father. He has never appeared in the show and has not even been mentioned in any episode. Susie's mom is the only relative she knows, besides her grandmother and cousin. That's why we're sure that the little sheep's father is also in heaven.
And if you're not subscribed yet, you know what to do. Click and hit the bell so you don't miss any videos.
Grandpa Sheep. Granny Sheep had a husband, but he also passed away. This likely happened because in the episode Granny Sheep Moves House, we find out that she is going to live with her daughter. She probably only did that because she became a widow and needed to move in with her daughter since she was too elderly to live alone. Let's also remember that no one has ever seen a male sheep in the show, and that's already a big mystery. And that's why Grandpa Sheep joins our list of characters who have already died. Mrs. Fox. Did you know that Freddie Fox's mother probably passed away in the show? It's a big shock, but it makes sense. If you watch the episode Families, you'll definitely notice what we're trying to explain. In that story, Madame Gazelle asks the children to talk about their families. Madame Gazelle herself says she lives alone but has two sisters. But when it's Freddie's turn, he only talks about his father, and that's strange. The other characters who don't talk about their parents are the ones who don't have a parent, like Susie. So why wouldn't Freddie talk about his own mother in an episode where he's supposed to talk about his whole family? This sparked many theories, and the biggest one is that Mrs. Fox passed away a few episodes earlier. What do you think about that? Do you believe this theory? Grandpa Elephant. Grandpa Elephant also passed away. We discover this in the episode Moving Day, when Emily and Edmund's grandma is moving apartments, and she's doing it completely alone. She no longer had a husband because she was already a widow. She moved into another house that was closer to her son's home, Emily Elephant's father. Grandma Rabbit. Grandma Rabbit also sadly passed away. This character died before Rebecca Rabbit was born, and that is true since Rebecca never met her grandmother. She was Grandpa Rabbit's wife, but he has never been seen with his wife, and everyone knows that grandparents in Peppa's world always appear together. Have you ever seen Grandma Rabbit? Never. That's because she is no longer alive. Uncle and Aunt Sheep. Speaking of couples, Susie's uncle and Aunt Sheep, who are the parents of her cousin Charlotte Sheep, have also passed away. They have never been mentioned and have never appeared. Charlotte is Susie's cousin, so her mother must be Mrs. Sheep's sister, but that character disappeared even though Charlotte is always present in Susie's stories. That's why we say her parents must have died. But what do you think about that? Whatever the truth is, we're still going to talk a lot more about Peppa Pig in upcoming videos.
It's almost over, but until then, you can stay with us. There are 2 super fun videos waiting for you.
Thanks, and see you next time.